All right, hello everyone. It is A.J. Wuest welcoming you all back to Before the Four this Friday afternoon. I hope everyone is having a great day. We made it to the end of the week, so always give yourself a pat on the back for that. But welcome all to Before the Four, of course the live stream, where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I say it every day wherever you're watching Before the Four this Friday afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here with me. Now let's jump into some news, shall we? Let's begin this afternoon in Morgan County, where recently we learned that Judge Charles Elliott has granted former Decatur police officer Mac Marquette, who's currently charged in the shooting death of Steve Perkins, a motion to push back his trial date to September. Now, Marquette's murder trial was scheduled for June 9th next month. It is now scheduled for September 15th. Beginning at 9 a.m. And of course, we'll be continuing to follow up with the latest regarding this case as we learn more. But now let's take a look at what you can expect weather-wise heading into your Mother's Day weekend. First Alert meteorologist Jeff Denoyer is here with a look at what he's seeing on the radar. Jeff?
Very good Friday to everybody. Made it to the end of the week, and what a great day it was. Some sun mixed with clouds, and your temperature in the 70s. And if you did not have some of those strong storms last night, you actually put back-to-back days together for Thursday and Friday that weren't too shabby. Now, some of you had some rockin' thunderstorms last night, and for those of you who did, you had some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and some hail as well. Some of the hail was quite large, too. As we go into tonight, though, look for more in the way of quiet conditions. In fact, turns out to be a nice night. Partly to mostly cloudy and dry. Temperatures mid to upper 50s. Dry is a very important part of the forecast because the Trash Pandas are at home, and they need a win, everybody. And if you're going to the game, it looks like the game will be just fine. 6:35 is first pitch, a little cloud cover, fireworks show afterwards, and hopefully we'll be shooting off fireworks after a Trash Panda win. They've been kind of hard to come by this year, so hopefully we'll get one tonight. Go to the weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. It's on Sunday, but you'll probably celebrate maybe the whole weekend. Saturday is a very, very tricky forecast. I'm going to go cloudy in the morning, rain in the afternoon. Some of that rainfall will be steady. Temperatures are in the 60s. It turns out to be a cool day. And then the weekend followed up on Sunday with a dry morning and then more showers late in the day. So there's going to be times when you can actually be outside in the weekend where it's not raining on you. But the showers, yeah, they're in the forecast still for the weekend, especially as we go into late Saturday day, night, and then again Sunday late in the day and night. So it's 2 rounds of rainfall, but some of the day will be dry, so it's not a complete washout. What will be a washout most likely is Monday and Tuesday. That looks really wet, like rain from start to finish kind of rain. And it doesn't happen just for one day, but for 2. We're in the 70s. And then once you pop some sunshine on Wednesday, look what it does to your temperatures. Takes them all the way up into the 80s on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And unfortunately, early call for the following weekend, because that's what we do here. We cover you for 10 days. Another chance of some showers and thunderstorms both Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures in the low to mid 80s.
Yep, that is right. Thank you, Jeff. That is certainly good to know. And of course, you all know the drill. Weather Extra tonight at 9:30. First Alert meteorologist Jeff Denoyer will be back here. He'll be giving you the latest he's seeing on the radar as we head into the weekend. And of course, weekends this Saturday at 8:15 as well as 4:30 we'll have a Weather Extra. So don't forget about that. But now we are going to follow up on the 27 miles of terror along I-65 Tuesday night that led to the death of a college football player. 48's Faith Delp has the latest on the victim's family and the man charged with his murder.
College football player William Hardrick was one of the victims in the 8 crashes on Interstate 65 and the only one who didn't make it. John McAdams is charged with his murder, which left Hardrick's friends and family with more questions than answers.
Man, William, what keeps coming to mind is, one, he had $1 million smile.
Hardrick's high school football coach remembers how happy he was playing football. His coach says he would come to practice every day with a smile.
The joy that he got out of the years that he lived, he lived every day like it was his last. He gave it everything. He loved on people. He left no doubt. There's not a person that can say a bad thing about it.
McAdams' high school friends say they have lots of questions too. An old friend who went to school with McAdams said, quote, "John has never been a bad person. What he did was horrible and there's no excuse for it. But that person that did this isn't the John that I knew in school. That John loved trucks and always wanted to be a trucker. He didn't get into trouble or start trouble," quote. McAdams is charged with murder, leaving the scene of an accident, and a DUI. McAdams' former employee also said this behavior was out of character. He is in the Limestone County Jail without bond for taking a 22-year-old's life and more. The wrecks and the murder are still under investigation through ALEA, so they cannot release any more information at this time. McAdams is scheduled for a preliminary hearing on Tuesday. Reporting in Limestone County, Faith Delp 48 News on your side.
And Faith is continuing to follow up on this situation today for us. She'll have all the latest coming up in our evening newscast. But now a story in case you missed it. Yesterday, Rayford Williams was sentenced to 30 years in prison in Limestone County, something the family of the 19-year-old man Williams was convicted of killing has waited for 6 years. 48's Nick Ballinger spoke with the victim's parents. Let's take a listen.
Diane Howard has been waiting for this day for the past 6 years.
For me, it's been kind of like the finish line.
It's the day Rayford Williams was sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing her son Troy in a head-on collision while he was drunk.
We're glad for the sentence and for it to be over with, but we still won't see Troy again.
The 19-year-old had just graduated from high school and was headed home from work when he met Williams driving the wrong way down the I-565 County Line Road exit ramp.
In the back of my mind, I'm still waiting on Troy to come home.
As Williams took the stand, he apologized to the Howard family multiple times, telling them he takes full responsibility for what happened that night in 2019. His father says he had no problem looking his son's killer in the eyes on Thursday.
We're not out for vengeance, but we are out for justice. And I do believe that justice was served.
But they say justice and closure are just cliches.
I don't think closure in this case is real.
No sentencing could have been enough. There's no amount of time that he could serve that I would consider enough.
Not enough for their baby Troy.
Full of life, full of fun, ate way too many sweets, love McDonald's. Just your typical kid that was looking forward to what life held.
He's going to be missed every single day. Every day.
And now coming up after the break, we'll have what local Catholics are saying about the new Pope and planning around the price increase of flowers this Mother's Day. It's all ahead. I'll be right back in 1 minute. All right, hello and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, as you all know, yesterday, the first ever American Pope was elected on just the second day of the conclave. 48's Aria Pons from the Shoals spoke with several local Catholics, their thoughts on the decision. Take a listen.
Students at St. Joseph's Catholic School and members of the church here in Florence came together today to watch as Pope Leo XIV was introduced to the world. Lunches were pushed aside as students peered onto the live reveal. Gasps, clapping, shouts of excitement. It was a big day for the Catholic community in the Tennessee Valley, from Florence to Huntsville.
Yeah, if you're a young Catholic man, one day you could be from Florence, Alabama, and be the Pope. Everyone said it couldn't be an American, and look, an American was elected.
I don't think I would ever, in a million years, think that we would ever have an American Pope, but I'm so glad.
Robert Prevost, taking the name Leo XIV, is the new Pope and the first American to lead the Catholic Church. He's from Chicago, but also holds Peruvian citizenship, spending many years there. Father Jonathan Howell at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Florence.
We're watching it right now. It looks like it's an American.
Says Leo has similar views to the last Pope, Pope Francis. He says every Pope's chosen name holds significance. Howell says the last Pope to take the name Leo, Leo XIII, led the church a very long time and wanted to modernize the views of the Catholic Church.
Through all the changes of the world, and you think about all the changes in the history of the church for almost 2,000 years, the one thing that's remained constant is the Pope. And that this will be the 267th, unbroken. So for us, it's a sign of God's presence, his promise to be with us forever.
Father Howell says each time a new Pope is chosen, it is a testament to the Catholic Church and community.
We'll see what the Holy Spirit is going to do with Pope Leo XIV.
And Pope Leo XIV is already inspiring the community. A young student here says he wants to be the second American-born Pope. Reporting in Florence, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
And he can certainly do it. Well, now, this is your reminder that Mother's Day is just a few days away, and you may need some extra time to plan with a new thorn in the floral industry side. NBC's Emmeline Akita is here with what the recent tariffs mean for those Mother's Day boutiques and ways you can save on the holiday.
Flowers and Mother's Day go hand in hand for millions of Americans.
I recently received the most beautiful flowers.
But this year, that arrangement could cost you a bit more green.
What's the name of that white?
Peonies.
Oh, peonies.
Many florists, like Matlas Florists in New York City, import nearly all of their flowers from other countries. Hydrangeas from Colombia, roses from Ecuador, tulips from Holland. And because of recent tariffs and the global trade war, owner Yossi Benamou says they're now costing him roughly 10% more across the board. And it's not just the flowers popping up. The plastic and vases that come from China up at least 30% for this longtime business owner.
Are you having to pass some of those costs on to the customers?
I'm trying not to, so we can keep customers happy and come back. Some of them we have no choice.
Nearly 80% of fresh cut flowers sold here are brought in from outside of the U.S. Imports of just fresh cut roses totaling $800 million in 2022.
Flowers are not something that we can buy in advance and hold on to. They have to be cut fresh. Consumers are really going to feel that pinch when they're buying flowers.
Still, the National Retail Federation anticipates flowers to remain the most popular gift this Mother's Day, followed by greeting cards and special outings, with total spending expected to bloom beyond $34 billion this year. But no need to take extreme measures to save on costs.
Did you take the flowers at my mother's site?
What? They wouldn't take the 50 at the flower store.
How could you do that?
Experts say to ask your florist for more commonly grown flowers in the U.S., like sunflowers, daisies, and lilies, or consider a new trend springing up, paper bouquets, with several companies offering evergreen arrangements.
This is so cute.
But Benhamou is hopeful his customers will still want to smell the roses.
There's no substitute for flowers, I don't think.
There's truly not. Get your mom, if you're watching at home right now, get your mom some flowers this Mother's Day. She will greatly appreciate it. But now let's turn over to the stories that you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. A new International Football Alliance team here in Huntsville following the situation with the Alabama Beavers. Get those details coming up. Governor Ivey was back in the Tennessee Valley earlier today. Find out why. And kitchen cops. Get all the latest scores from across the valley coming up. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. And it is time for Facebook Fun. That is right, our 48 Facebook question of the day today. Where is your go-to vacation spot? And I asked that question just because I am going to mine starting tonight. I am traveling, and all of next week I will be on vacation. I will be spending time with my mom, my dad, my mom especially for Mother's Day. And we will be going to Daytona Beach, Florida. So I will not be here doing Before the Four next week. I'll miss you all, but I'll be on vacation. But let's see where your go-to vacation spot is. Let's see. Disney World, Cindy said Disney World. That is, you cannot beat Disney World. Tommy Strickland said Gulf Shores. That is a good one as well. There on the Gulf. Kathleen said Ireland. I have not made my way out to Ireland, but it is certainly on my bucket list. I would love to go to Ireland, all of Europe, see Rome especially. That just looks so gorgeous. Judy said cruising, and you can do anything there. You can cruise anywhere, and also that food, that unlimited amount of food that you can get on cruise ships. I love it. Vanessa said Costa Rica. That seems like a very beautiful place as well. And of course, how can you forget the great PCB? PCB, legendary place there. So much you can do and so much fun you can have. Stacy, Gatlinburg. Cannot go wrong with Gatlinburg as well. But some awesome comments from you all. And one more, the best for last. Rhonda said Nashville, and Nashville holds a special place in my heart as it is where I graduated from college. Went to Belmont University, of course, and had 4 great years in Nashville. 4 years that went by entirely too quick. So that one was an awesome comment there from Rhonda Yancey. But thank you all for commenting on today's 48 Facebook question of the day. I hope you all have a great weekend. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast, and I will see you not next week, but the week after. But I'll miss you all, and that is it for today's Before the Four. I hope you all have a great night.